You're going to hear a lot of people say that Elk Grove is booming, and they're not wrong. But that is exactly how a lot of buyers end up overpaying in the wrong part of town. Because growth is great. New medical center, it's great. Whole Foods, awesome. Sky River expanding into a more resort destination, excellent. New parks, library improvements, possible trail access, more retail, more jobs, more homes, all good things. But here's the problem. Growth does not automatically make every house a smart buy. Sometimes it just makes bad decisions feel more exciting. And Elk Grove is about to become one of the most misunderstood suburbs in all of the Sacramento area. So in this video, I'm going to break down what's actually coming to Elk Grove and what that means for buyers and sellers. Which areas are known for what, how Elk Grove compares to Roseville, Rocklin, Lincoln, Folsom, Sacramento, and Delta Shores, and how to avoid buying the headline instead of the right house. I'm Reese, and I help people relocating to the greater Sacramento area figure out exactly where they want to live based on their lifestyle, their budget, and their goals, what it actually costs, and how to avoid big mistakes. So if you're thinking about buying or selling anywhere around Sacramento, Elk Grove, Roseville, Rocklin, Lincoln, Folsom, or any of the surrounding areas, just reach out. I'll help you make sense of the move before you make a very expensive move. And if you want the straight version of Sacramento area and Northern California real estate, like and subscribe. Now let's get into Elk Grove. The biggest mistake that buyers are going to make with Elk Grove is buying for the headline instead of buying for the right fit. They'll hear growth, they'll hear casino expansion, new medical center, Whole Foods, new homes, and they'll hear rail, and they'll think, perfect, Elk Grove is the next big thing, I'll just buy anywhere. Nope, that's how people get cooked. Buying in a growing city without understanding the pockets is like getting a gym membership and just assuming that you automatically now have names. Technically, you bought something useful, you bought a home, but there's still a process. And Elk Grove is not just one thing anymore. You've got older Elk Grove, there's Laguna West, Stone Lake. You've got East versus West Elk Grove, there's master plan communities, and you've got rural feeling areas near Sheldon and Wilton. You've got areas that feel established, some areas that feel newer, areas that feel more commuter driven, some areas feel more family focused, and then there's areas that feel completely different once you add in taxes and HOAs and special assessments and landscaping and solar, insurance, and then there's the upgrades. So yeah, I'm bullish on Elk Grove, but I'm not bullish on lazy buying. Now the first big shift is that Elk Grove is becoming much more self-contained. And for a long time, people liked Elk Grove because it gave them more space. Suburban neighborhoods, good family appeal, and in many cases, more value compared to those higher priced other Sacramento suburbs. But the big trade-off was convenience. Specialty medical care, you're driving to Sacramento. Upscale shopping, well, you're driving to East Sac or maybe out to Folsom or even Roseville. Those certain restaurants, also same thing. Entertainment, same thing. That's changing. Sutter Health is building a major specialty care center on Laguna Boulevard. And this is a big deal because healthcare is one of those quality of life things that people don't really think about until they actually need it. When you're healthy, nobody cares about cardiology, neurology, OBGYN, or neurology, or specialty care, being closer. But when you need it, suddenly a 5 to 10 minute drive compared to a 35, 40 minute drive really matters a lot. Nobody brags about being closer to a specialist until they really need one. For families, retirees, and move up buyers, this really matters. And when you compare Elk Grove to Roseville, Rocklin, or Folsom, this is one of the big storylines. Roseville already has a huge healthcare and retail ecosystem. Folsom already has a premium lifestyle and strong employment base. Rocklin has really strong Placer County convenience. And Elk Grove is catching up in its own way. Residents are becoming less dependent on having to leave the city for every major part of life. That can support long-term demand. But don't buy a house just because Sutter is expanding. Buy because the commute, the payment, the schools, lifestyle, and the resale story makes sense for you. Growth is a bonus, but it's not a substitute for good judgment. Now let's talk about Sky River. Sky River is not just a casino story anymore. With the new parking structure already open and the hotel resort expansion underway, this is becoming a larger regional entertainment story. The future expansion includes a hotel, a spa, entertainment space, and restaurants, and more resort-style features. All that changes the way people see Elk Grove. Some people will love that. More jobs, more restaurants, more entertainment, more visitors, more regional attention. And others will say, great, more people, more traffic. And now my quiet suburb is trying on a Vegas-style jacket. Well, both can be true. Growth always brings two things: opportunity and annoyance. The trick is actually knowing which one you're going to be buying into. Now for sellers, this really matters because regional attention can help the perception of Elk Grove. When more people know of Elk Grove and visit Elk Grove, they work in Elk Grove and search Elk Grove, all of that can help buyer awareness. But sellers, let's not be ridiculous. This does not mean that you can overprice your house by $75,000 just because a hotel is coming. That's not pricing strategy. That's astrology with a lockbox. Now for buyers, the question is not, is Sky River good or bad? The right question is, how does this impact the pocket that you're considering? Are you near traffic patterns? Are you near future commercial activity? Are you buying for convenience? Are you buying for quiet? Are you okay being closer to like a regional destination? Or do you want to benefit from Elk Grove's growth without feeling like you live in the parking lot for dating? That is the real conversation. Now, retail is one of the biggest tells in real estate, and Elk Grove's retail story is changing. The Village is expecting to bring Whole Foods and Mendocino Farms and Phil's Coffee and the Shake Shack and other shops and restaurants. But let me be clear, Whole Foods does not automatically make your home worth it. You do not get instant equity because somebody can now buy $11 asparagus water somewhere nearby. But retail does tend to follow rooftops and income and traffic and demand. And that's why this matters. For buyers, this improves convenience. And for sellers, it gives another lifestyle feature to money. But there is a trade-off. The same things that make an area more convenient also make it busier. More retail means more traffic. More restaurants means more parking pressure. More convenience means more people coming into that part of town. So if you're buying near new retail, don't just ask, how close am I to Whole Foods? You also want to ask, which roads will people take to get there? That's the difference between enjoying the growth and accidentally buying into a daily traffic headache with a smoothie bar attached. Now, you may hear people say that Elk Grove is investing over $400 million. This sounds impressive, and it is, but let's say it correctly. Elk Grove adopted a $411 million budget for the 25-26 fiscal year. This does not mean that every dollar is being poured into one giant, shiny upgrade project. A city budget covers a lot of things. The part that buyers and sellers should pay attention to is where the priorities are. Public safety, roads, traffic, parks, homelessness response, affordable housing, emergency response, and economic development. And all that really matters because growth without infrastructure is how a city gets really messy. More homes without more roads, problem. More people without public safety, problem. More retail without traffic planning, also a problem. More growth without parks and community space, another big problem. Growth without infrastructure is not progress. It's just congestion with better branding. And this is where Elk Grove deserves some credit. The city is at least putting serious money and attention towards the things that families actually care about. Safety, roads, parks, traffic, services, and economic development. Is it perfect? No. But no city is. Let's be real, if you want perfect, you're probably not shopping in California. You're shopping in a Hallmark movie. But compared to places that grow first and plan later, Elk Grove is trying to grow with structure. And that matters for long-term livability. Now let's talk about the stuff that sounds boring until you actually live there. Libraries, parks, trails, sports fields, community spaces. The Elk Grove Library relocation and expansion is underway. And the city is moving the library to the former Rite Aid on Elk Grove Boulevard. And that gives the library more space and more parking. Now, that may not sound like a sexy YouTube thumbnail. Nobody clicks, man discusses municipal library parking. But for families, this stuff really matters. Because the daily life question is not just, can I afford this house? It's also, Where do my kids play? Where do we go on the weekends? Where are the parks? How far is the library? Are there trails? Are there sports fields? Can I walk the dog without feeling like I'm doing laps around a beige stucco maze? The house gets you excited, but the lifestyle decides whether you're still happy 6 months later. And this is where Elk Grove has a strong case. Compared to Sacramento proper, it often gives buyers more suburban structure. Compared to Folsom, it can often be more affordable. Compared to Roseville or Rocklin, may be a better fit for buyers that need, access to Sacramento or Highway 99 or I-5 or the airport or even certain job centers. And then compared to Lincoln, it feels way more connected to Sacramento, a lot less far north. Remember, pockets matter, which brings us to the part that most buyers skip. There is not one Elk Grove, there are several Elk Groves. Older Elk Grove, especially around historic Elk Grove and some other parts of the 95624, then offer more established neighborhoods. Larger lots in some pockets, more character, and a less cookie cutter feel. And this can be great for buyers that don't necessarily want everything to be brand new and perfectly beige. Laguna and Laguna West are more known for suburban convenience, I-5 access, shopping, schools and parks, and just a more established master plan feel. And that can be a good fit for commuters and families who want access and convenience without necessarily being on the newest edge of town. Stone Lake and the broader Laguna West lakeside area are known for that more established master plan feel. Neighborhood water features, walking paths, parks, and community amenities. And yes, Stone Lake and parts of that area are built around man-made lakes and water feature settings. Some homes have that lake view or waterfront style feel, but here's the part that buyers need to understand. A lake view is not always a lake lifestyle. Do not assume that you can just fish or kayak or paddleboard or launch a boat just because there's water behind the house. You need to check the specific HOA rules, the access rights, and of course the property location, because lake view and lake access are not the same thing. And in many places, you may be looking across that lake at another part of the neighborhood or maybe another row of houses. It can be pretty. It can feel more open, but this is still suburban Elk Grove, not a private mountain lake where your only neighbor is an eagle named Steve. A lake view is not always a lake lifestyle. Sometimes it's just a prettier backyard fence with ducks. Now, East Elk Grove can feel more established and offer different lot profiles, more mature areas, and much closer access towards Highway 9. Now, West Elk Grove and newer growth areas are where you're going to see more new construction energy, newer communities, newer floor plans, and definitely that future growth feel. Communities like Madera and Arbor Ranch and other newer areas are going to attract those buyers that want, modern layouts, energy efficiency, warranties, and, everything perfect, less immediate maintenance. And newer does not mean simpler either. New construction is not automatically a deal. Sometimes it's just a prettier spreadsheet with more hidden lines. You still have to look at the full monthly payment. You start at the base price, then there's the lot premium, and you got the upgrades and all the upgrades. Then there's the add-on for solar, special taxes, HOAs, landscaping. It comes with a dirt backyard, window coverings, upgraded appliances, and insurance. And all the little things that turn starting in the low sixes into how did we get here and why am I sweating right now? A resale home in a more established area may have less shiny features, but probably a better lot, mature landscaping, and a more predictable monthly cost. A new build may give you a newer modern design, but a higher true payment once everything's all added. Now, neither is automatically better. It just depends on your life. Now, we need to clear something up because this really matters. Delta Shores is not Elk Grove. It is Sacramento. Specifically, it is in the 95832 area. And that's near I-5 and Cosumnes River Boulevard in the South Sacramento Meadowview Airport side of the region. It sits roughly south of downtown Sacramento and northwest of central Elk Grove. Depending on traffic and where you're starting, it's a pretty reasonable drive into downtown Sacramento, but this is not Elk Grove proper. So when people talk about Delta Shores like it's actually an Elk Grove project, that is not technically accurate. But it still matters because buyers do not live inside city limit maps. They live inside commute patterns. shopping habits, school preferences, traffic flows, and monthly payments. And pricing wise, this is where Delta Shores gets interesting. Delta Shores may appeal to buyers that want new construction, retail convenience, access to I-5, and a cheaper price point than many of the pockets of Elk Grove. But if you specifically want Elk Grove schools, Elk Grove identity, Elk Grove city services, and that established Elk Grove resale profile, that's a completely different conversation. Delta Shores may be cheaper than Elk Grove, but cheaper and better are not the same word. Do not compare Delta Shores and Elk Grove like it's the same product. They are not. Delta Shores is a South Sacramento growth corridor play. Elk Grove is a city identity, school boundary, established resale market, and suburban lifestyle play. Both make sense, but they solve different problems. And if you do not understand this, you may end up buying the right house, but in the wrong place. All right, now let's talk rail. The Valley Rail project includes plans for an Elk Grove station as part of ACE and San Joaquin's passenger rail expansion into the Sacramento region. That could be a big deal over time. Improved rail access can make a suburb more flexible, especially for commuters, hybrid workers, and people who want better regional mobility. But here is where I'm going to pump the brakes a little bit. Do not buy a house in Elk Grove because somebody told you that commuting to the Bay Area is suddenly going to be easy. This is how people romanticize a commute that they will hate by week number 3. A future train station is upside, but it is not permission to ignore your actual Tuesday morning life. If you work in Sacramento, Elk Grove can make a lot of sense. If you work hybrid and you occasionally travel to the Bay Area, future rail access could become a nice benefit. But if you need to commute to the Bay Area 5 days a week, then we need to have a really honest conversation before you buy on a project rendering in a dream. Because commute math is where buyers lie to themselves. They say, it's only 90 minutes. No, it's only 90 minutes when everything behaves. And traffic does not behave. Traffic is like a toddler with a driver's license. So yes, rail is a positive. Yes, regional connectivity matters. And yes, this could support Elk Grove's long-term appeal. But buy based on the lifestyle that you actually live, not the fantasy version where every train arrives on time and your podcast queue fixes your soul. So how does Elk Grove compare? Roseville is the convenience machine. Shopping, healthcare, jobs, restaurants, parks, the Galleria, older established neighborhoods, also a ton of new growth, and a ton of buyer demand. But Roseville also has different versions of itself. East Roseville is not West Roseville. Newer Roseville is not older Roseville. And depending on where you buy, Melrose, HOA, traffic, and commute patterns matter. Rocklin is often the polished, family-focused Placer County favorite. Really strong schools, great access to Roseville, a good neighborhood feel, and a little more tucked in than Roseville. But it can be more expensive and maybe a little less convenient for people that need, to get into downtown Sacramento, Elk Grove, Bay Area, or need the I-5 access. Folsom is the premium lifestyle play. Strong schools, trails, lake access, a historic district, intel, healthcare growth, great retail, and that whole we bike, we hike, and own really expensive water bottles kind of image. But Folsom is expensive, and buyers are not shopping Folsom by list price alone. Insurance, HOAs, Melrose, other special assessments and taxes, the total monthly payment matters. Lincoln can be more affordable and is definitely growth oriented. It can be a great fit for buyers who want new homes, maybe a little more space, and do not need to be close to Sacramento every day. But Lincoln is further north, and a lot of buyers underestimate that. Sacramento proper gives you culture, character, shorter downtown access, older neighborhoods, and more urban variety. If you want newer homes, bigger lots, newer schools, and suburban structure, Elk Grove may feel easier. Elk Grove sits in a very interesting middle. It is generally more affordable than Folsom, often competitive with Roseville depending on area and home type. Definitely more connected with South Sacramento and even downtown Sac. More connected to Sacramento than Rocklin, but more suburban than Sacramento proper. And now with more healthcare and retail, entertainment, parks, library improvements, and possible rail access, Elk Grove's long-term story is getting much stronger. Elk Grove is not trying to be Roseville. It is becoming its own version of a Sacramento suburb. And that's why I like it. But I still would not tell every buyer to move there. Here's what buyers need to watch. Number 1, Commute. Do not guess, drive it, but at the actual time you would drive it. If you work downtown, test it. If you work in Roseville, test it. And if you work in the Bay Area, maybe test it twice, and also bring snacks and maybe a therapist. Number 2, payment. List price is not payment. Compare taxes, HOAs, special assessments, insurance, solar, factor in those upgrades and maintenance. A $625,000 resale may not feel the same as a $625,000 new build on a monthly basis. Number 3, pocket. Are you buying older Elk Grove, Laguna, Stone Lake, East Elk Grove, West Elk Grove, in Madera or Arbor Ranch, or some other newer community? Each one solves a different problem. And number 4, resale. Who is going to be the next buyer after you? Family, commuter, a retiree, maybe an investor, first-time buyer, move-up buyer. If you don't know who the next buyer is likely to be, that type of buyer, then you may not truly understand the actual resale story of this home. Number 5, don't buy the headline, buy the fit. The best Elk Grove buy is not the one closest to the biggest project. It's the one that still makes sense after all the excitement wears off. And that's the difference between chasing growth and using growth strategically. Now, sellers, let's talk. If you own an Elk Grove, this growth story helps you, but it does not do the work for you. You still have to price it correctly. You still need strong marketing. You still need the right position. Elk Grove is growing is not a marketing plan. It's just a headline. Your home still needs a story. And this is where video marketing matters. Because buyers moving from the Bay Area or Southern California, or maybe all the way from New York City, or even just other parts of Sacramento, they're not buying the house based on just square footage. They are buying confidence. They want to understand the area. They want to know what life is going to feel like there. They want to avoid the wrong pocket. They want someone to explain the trade-offs. And that is where a strong listing strategy separates itself from photos and MLS and throw a sign in the ground and just pray. The homes that win are the homes that buyers understand. So here's the bottom line. I am pro Elk Grove. I think Elk Grove is one of the most interesting growth stories in the entire Sacramento region right now. Sky River is expanding, Sutter is expanding, retail is improving, the city is investing, parks and the library are improving, and new homes are coming. Regional transportation could improve. And compared to some higher priced suburbs, Elk Grove has a strong value argument. But don't confuse opportunity with automatic success. Elk Grove's growth is real. The mistake is thinking that every buyer should make the same move. The right move depends on your budget, your commute, your lifestyle, family needs, payment comfort, neighborhood preference, school priorities, and resale plan. If you're a buyer, don't just ask, should I move to Elk Grove? Ask, which version of Elk Grove actually fits my life? And if you're a seller, don't just say, well, Elk Grove is growing. Instead ask, how do I position my home inside that growth story so that buyers actually care? That is the difference between noise and strategy. So if you're thinking about buying or selling in Elk Grove or Sacramento or Rocklin, Roseville, Lincoln, Folsom, anywhere in the greater Sacramento area, just reach out. Give me a call, shoot me a text, an email, or schedule a consultation. I'll help you figure out where your money actually makes sense. Ready to stop scrolling and start making moves? Let's make it happen. Also, comment below where you're moving from. I'm curious. And don't forget to smash those like and subscribe buttons. I'll see you on the next one. That's a wrap.